welcome back RBG family and friends. Today we are outside. As you can see here by the current events, we are cleaning today the chicken run. Here in Bronx, New York, we have been having some unseasonable wet weather, and it has made pretty much the run into some wet mess. Here I have my son and my husband in tow because I can't do this by myself, and they are pretty much trying to scrape up all of this mess. My plan was, if you've seen any of my other videos, to kind of leave this and kind of have it compost in place and then scrape it up in the spring, but plans have changed because it is too wet for the chickies, and to be honest, it's kind of actually smelling a little bit in here, and it's a little bit unpleasant. So the girls right now are free ranging, and they are enjoying life a little bit right now in the backyard as we kind of scrape all of this up. We're going to be shoveling it, and actually it's not going to be tossed. We're going to put it in the garden beds so it can further break down, and hopefully we can salvage some of this and make it into some type of good compost, and we can use it in the garden season of 2023 that'll hopefully be coming up upon us. After this, we're going to try to salvage some of what's left of the soil, which my son is doing an amazing job there, kind of, I guess, semi-tilling, and we're going to try to turn it over. I've seen some videos in YouTube that says that you can actually turn over the soil, and that kind of takes care a little bit of the smell. And we're going to obviously deodorize it. I always deodorize their run. These are some of the amendments here that I use. That's the deodorizer here that I use for them. It's PDC Refresh. It eliminates harmful ammonia odors for them. I also use First Saturday Lime, and then we're going to be using this time. These are pine shavings. This is what we're going to be putting down once we are done with all of this mess that we got going on here. My son is putting in some hard time. I think his nose hairs are probably burned. But we're gonna go ahead and put in some hard labor in here. Hopefully it won't take us too long, but in the interim, the girls are enjoying themselves. Right, Brittany? Brittany? You enjoying yourself, Brittany? I think she agrees. But I'm going to get into the coop and scrape off in there. In the coop, we're just going to turn it over because there I do want to implement the deep bedding method. And we're just going to turn that over and add new pine shavings and move on from there and see if they've given us any eggs for this morning. Jerry, you gave me any eggs? Did you give me any eggs this morning, Jerry? All right, so let's get this project going, and hopefully I'll show you the progress as we move on. So progress is being made. Buckets, as you can see, are being carried out. Beds are being filled with their bedding, which hopefully will be broken down. And we unfortunately had to lock up the girls, and they are not happy because birds of prey, i.e. hawks, started surrounding the sky, and this mama got scared and we had to put them in. So they have this little passage right here which leads them into their run at night, and now we have them unfortunately enclosed in here and in some type of asylum, and they just don't like it. But it is what it is. We have to keep them safe, and they just have to deal with it. And Miss Jerry over there, if I could get her in frame and this can focus, she's just not very happy. but it is what it is. But we are making progress. It is a long and tedious process. The guys are really putting in some work, and we are just moving along. One is raking, one is shoveling into the bucket, and then into the beds. Moving along. So at this point, they have removed as much as the bedding as possible. We are at this point hunting down one of our other shovels that have one of the pointy ends, so we can turn the soil over on itself. But I am going to add amendments to the soil, and by amendments I just mean the Saturday lime and some refresher to the soil, so we can get rid of like the ammonia scent and the Coop scent, since this soil is so moist due to the rain and etc. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to add that application now so they can churn the soil. And then I'm going to also add another application when I do the fresh bedding and etc. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll bring you guys back when they are churning the soil. Hopefully you guys can hear me, because Jerry over there is very upset. Alright, so here we are, almost done churning over the soil. The amendments are there. This is the last piece. I got the guys working hard, but it is worth it. The smell is almost dissipated. I'm sure it'll be almost completely gone once we put the straw down and add a final amendment of the deodorizer. The girls are still desperate over there to get into their main run so they can scratch, but this is what it's looking like right now. It's almost literally bare soil, which is what we started with when we first got them, but it has to be done. Not something that I was really looking forward to, but it is what it is. Disclaimer, it was also bringing back the rodents, so you know, it was something that really desperately needed to be done, because we had not had the rodents in a while, and this was just a call that needed to be made. So here we are, but progress, slowly but surely, we're getting there. So the floor has been tilled over. They leveled over the floor, and now we are adding the second application of the Saturday lime and the deodorizer. And now we are going to be doing the application of the straw, and then we're going to finally let in the girls, because as I've been saying, like a broken record, they are desperate to get in here. So at this point, my mother-in-law came over for a visit, so my son took over. At this point, he is showing you that he put everything back in its place, and he put a nice coating of pine straw on the floor. Kudos to him. He did an amazing job. So did my husband. He is letting you guys see everything that he did. The feeder is the first one that we actually introduced to them, and it does an amazing job. I'm very happy with it, but we are on the hunt for a different feeder that helps us out, and the rodents are not keen to. The waterer was clean, the cups were cleaned, and we actually put fresh water water in there for them, so the chickens will be very happy with that. They are very anxious to get in here, so we are going to go ahead and do that so we can show you guys once they come in and how they play with the straw and all that good stuff. So let's let them in, and you guys can experience their happiness through the lens. Let's do that right now. So here you see my son is opening the door and they are coming in. Brittany came in first, Freckles followed, and Gina, always my curious girl. Look at them scratching it up right from the start. I'm telling you, they are on cue, guys. So I wanted to give you guys a quick lowdown on this feeder. This feeder, I did take it away from them for a while because we were having issues with the rodents getting in through the holes, because this feeder does not bring like a cap so we can put it on at night. And that's the only downfall for me here in Bronx, New York, dealing with, you know, the rat issue. But we reintroduced it to them because we were having issues with feeding them at night and at day, coming out 3 times, which does not bother me, but they were scratching up the feed and throwing it on the floor, which is hence why we chose to, you know, kind of, you know, tear up the floor and turn it over to kind of deter the pest away, and reintroduce this feeder back and see if it works out for us. But in the interim, we are, like I already stated, looking for a different feeder to see if we can prevent that, because in the interim we are removing this feeder at night and we can't fill it up completely to its complete capacity, which is 50 pounds if I'm not mistaken. And it's tedious to have to remove this because it's kind of big and bulky. So we might end up doing a DIY. Stay tuned to see what we do. So now my son is on the little section where we have it under a cape cover where the hens can move from their run into their coop at night. He's just showing you that little piece. And since we decided to refresh and turn over the run, we're just going to take the opportunity to go ahead and clean the coop, or kind of refresh and then turn over the coop as well. Guys, be nice. It's a little messy in there, hence why we're going to go ahead and clean, refreshen, and or turn over the coop. If you've seen any of my prior videos, we are trying to implement the deep bedding method. If it's possible to do so, it creates heat for them at night and all that good stuff. So here he's just kind of giving you guys a glimpse of the before and after. You'll see the after in the next clip. And this is pretty much what he's showing you guys. It doesn't look too bad, so you know, A+ to us. We do maintain. Here he's gonna show you how, I guess, how happy he is that he actually found an egg inside one of the nesting box. We still do keep the wooden eggs in there just to show them that, you know, that is still where they lay eggs. They do know the business. As you can see here, Jerry is on the other nesting box. We do keep 2 in there to, you know, give them an alternative, because sometimes I'll have 2 of them trying to lay eggs at the same time. He's showing Jerry some love, and I guess, you know, she appreciated. But here he's just pretty much showing you the grounds about inside the coop, and he's just gonna go ahead and move on and clean it and give you the reveal once he's done. So he is back with the finished product. Here you can see the little alleyway where the hens get to their coop at night. Here he is ready to open the door so the hens can see the wonderful job that he has done already, and they are going to come running in a few seconds and start to look at the job that he did. And my first girl coming through is Gina. She can't wait to get in there and inspect to see if her eggs are okay. And there she goes, right on cue. As always, my girl, I can always count on her. She has to always look at her nesting box and start scratching her little feet away. Always can count on her. They always make you seem like you never did a hard work and make you look bad. Guys, that wall right there behind is where they pretty much put the little boom booms, and they roost there, so that wall is impeccable. Obviously, we're not going to put any water there because it's winter, and we're not going to remove the deep bedding system. My son didn't know any better, and I obviously did not tell him. Usually I take like a dry metal, sponge, or just like a regular brush, that has a bristle. I wasn't out there. I had visitors in my family that came over. It is what it is. But in the summer, you best believe I'm giving that a scrub. Here he's collecting eggs. Those are the eggs that Jerry was sitting on. So we got a nice load of eggs that day. I think there were maybe about 5 to 6. My girls are still laying, and I'm very happy. There goes Gina trying to protect the last eggs that she can. She's like, you're not taking them all away. He did an amazing job. Kudos to him. I thank him so very much. All right, guys, the project is a complete, and the hens are so happy. I mean, if that right there does not tell you or show you happiness, I don't understand what will. Look at Jerry dust bathing. I mean, that is pure chicken joy right there. I mean, that's what makes your heart happy. That's what makes my heart at least melt, being a chicken mom. I mean, the eggs, yes, are a bonus, but that right there is just pure joy, pure enjoyment, pure happiness. This is why, we do the things that we do. I've always said it from the beginning, these are pets, and I cannot reiterate it enough. It's hard work, but I'm willing to do it. Today I had my son and my husband help, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, but my chickens are happy, and we are happy and happy with eggs. So the concept behind this was to obviously clean the chicken run because of rodents. We had good compostable matter within that chicken run. So we obviously did not want to get rid of that. We didn't want to throw it away. We wanted to save it. As you can see here, we have one garbage pail or bucket full of that good matter. And yes, it's not completely broken down, but eventually it can be broken down within my garden beds. Now here, what you see in front of you are my Vigo garden beds. And what we did was we just emptied these garbage pails into my garden beds. Now, these garden beds were first year garden beds that were established back in the 2022 garden season. So they have been depressed in the winter because of rain. We haven't had much snow here in Bronx, New York, but a lot of rain, and this has compressed the soil, so they need to be refilled. So the way that I chose to do it, and hopefully it does not hinder my growing season in 2023, I chose to refill it using this chicken bedding that is semi broken down, and I'm going to be burying it lower. So once the weather gets better, I'm going to bury it deep with a pitchfork, hopefully. So stay tuned, guys, for future content. As always, we love you, and please like, subscribe, share, so YouTube knows that we are creating amazing content. And we love you, and we will see you guys on our next one. Bye.